All right, hello and welcome. We got two really good games going on here, both just getting going. Just had to throw this up quickly. Both guys wanted to get underway, and here we are. We have the Vikings that they're actually about to score there. Anthony Miller getting on the board early, 7-0, pending extra point over in Minneapolis. On the other side, we got the Colts and Atlanta game. Both have playoff implications. Right now, Colts are sitting at 7-7 with much of their division sitting at 7-7 as well. The Jags are also 7-7. So big game there for playoff implications. A big game here, probably a bigger game here for Minnesota and Green Bay. So they're both 7-7, trying to win that vaunted NFC North division.
Yeah, the NFC North, they've struggled record-wise lately, but they've still, they've done pretty well. Both guys are really good users. They're always at the top of the division. So it's an interesting back and forth they have going here, and this one's coming down to the final game of the year.
Yeah, it seems like we were the same. They were in the same spot last year, almost identical records in an identical spot, if I remember right. This later week game, both same record, and this is kind of for the division. Last time though, Pride was the one who came away with the win and ended up getting into the playoffs, but lost to I think it was Nick in the first round.
Yeah, and Pride, I think, has won, I would say the majority of those division titles. But, NWS is always nipping at his heels. He's had a few himself, and it's always a good back and forth. Two very different users style-wise here, but they play really good, tight, close games.
Yeah, Pride's kind of likes to, dink and dunk down the field, likes to run the ball a lot. He's not going to take a huge amount of shots, but he still will if it's open. NWS, on the other hand, plays the exact opposite, like you said. He's just going to throw up some bombs to his guys, Miller or Odell, or try and get Ezekiel Elliott going with some kind of big play as well. But two very different offenses, and it's very fun to watch these two play.
Yeah, for sure. And Packers used to have Aaron Jones, and obviously he's gone, and Vernon's not been bad. They've got this guy Willie Guerrero who just had the big catch. He's done a lot better now. Two very different styles in the way they play, but both guys can put points on the board when they have to.
Both guys can. So we're going to go full screen here over to the Green Bay game as the Green Bay is now starting to drive.
Yeah, Green Bay had a nice pass to Guerrero for 15 there and got them in scoring range here.
All right, 1st and 10, strong close set. Sanchez is going to hand it off to Vernon. Vernon breaks it to the outside. Nice juke move and shakes off the tackler, but gets a gain of 5.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of Vernon, one of the more different names in the XCFL. He's he's their guy. He's their go-to now that Aaron Jones is gone. You're going to see him probably get around 15 to 20 carries a game. He doesn't put up the numbers that some of the other running backs have, but still just a really solid runner and a good scheme that they have.
Yeah, definitely a good solid runner. I think he's a good product of that scheme that Pride has. Hasn't quite made that jump to elite, but we'll see what he does in this game. It's a nice pass to Dawson Knox, the tight end to Sanchez and Dawson. Knox connection is very lethal as Guerrero kind of opens it up for him, and Stamer on the other side opens it up, and Dawson Knox just gets open on those back sides often, it seems.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of Dawson Knox today, and he had a little bit of a down year. He's starting to age, but with the other guy, sitting above the 32% rule this late, I think you're not going to see a lot of Stamer. You're going to see a whole lot of Knox.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. All right, so single back ace set. They're already marching down the field, much like the Vikings did at the 35-yard line. Hand off to Vernon. Vernon up the middle, breaks it to the outside. Nice little ball carrier vision there. Gets a gain of 4 as it looked like that was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this, both these teams, started off the cycle really well. They were in the playoffs, always around 10 wins, 12, 10 to 12 wins. The Packers made a Super Bowl, but their window seemed to be closing defensively. They really aged. And the same thing with Minnesota. That window just keeps kind of closing. So it's interesting here to see, if they get in the playoffs, what these teams can do, because they are good enough to still make damage.
Yeah, definitely have the teams set up to make some damage, but right now both are trying to get over that hump of just being above that 500 line. 2nd and 6, single back set. Two wide receivers split out wide. Sanchez is going to drop back. He's got plenty of time. There's Bosa, though, right in his face, and he goes down for a 10-yard sack.
Yeah, Joey Bosa, he's absolute dude. He came over from where'd they get him in the trade? I can't even remember now. I want to say it was Brad.
I feel like Bosa was over in Los Angeles, right? The Chargers.
Yeah, yeah, he was with the
Still
Chargers,
there.
so
Yeah.
obviously they traded him, and he's been a huge addition to that pass rush there in Minnesota.
Yeah, he's really catapulted this defense. 3rd and 16, spread set now. Bogan in the backfield. Guerrero split out wide to the left. Sanchez back to throw. Bosa hurdling a guy, going deep to Guerrero. Falls incomplete. Good defense there as Bosa was just wrecking havoc on the offensive line.
Yeah, and a little bit of a late read there from Guerrero, from Sanchez. He had him off the line originally, and then he just didn't see him. Threw it a little late over to the top, and it gets swatted away. But just getting points on the board to try to match there is huge for that for this Packers team.
And there you go. There's their 4th points. A nice field goal there, and 7-3 is the score. That's a big drive for them. Yeah, it stalls out when they're in plus territory, but just trying to keep up with this offense that Minnesota has, maybe it'll start to make them a little more nervous than they normally would be with a huge lead over in Minnesota. And that's when you see Overbay start to make some mistakes.
Yeah, and then Overbay, he is a very good quarterback when he's on, but he's had games where he really struggles. Threw 7 picks in a game earlier in this cycle, in a game that I remember. And when he's good, he's great, but when he's bad, he's really really bad. So if you get the good version of Overbay, this offense will be very tough to stop.
Now here is Overbay, single back, wing tight set. He's going to drop back to pass. He's looking out. There's a huge sack there. Runs right into Leonard there. He's able to get in there for a nice 5-yard loss.
Yeah, that's a great sack, and these are two users that really know each other. I think NWS usered up that tight end. He wanted him on the post there and took that away. There was really no other good read for him in that, and that's what you get when you two guys that play each other so much. They're going to take away some of their bread and butter plays and make it a lot more difficult for them for moving football.
Here's something you don't see very often. Ezekiel getting the run on 2nd and long brings up a 3rd and 5. Nice 10-yard run there.
Yeah, really good play call by NWS. Usually you'd think he would be taking a shot there, trying to get the ball in the air and over base hand, but he's got Zeke, and Zeke is still a really, really good rusher. So hand him the ball, and he's going to get you yards. He probably doesn't even see the ball enough with the amount of weapons they have on that team.
3rd and 5. Ooh, offside. See if they're going to let the play go. Is he going to take a shot deep? Oh, and it missed incompletion there. Had a man open, but that's going to be offside. Still gets him a 1st down.
Yeah, and that was a really big offsides there, and Overbay just missed that by a little bit. He does that sometimes, or he'll miss by just a little bit too much. The nickname Overthrow, Billy Overthrow, has been popular, and you can see why there, because he'll just miss. Has a rocket of an arm, and sometimes you can't control that thing.
Yeah, that one thing's for sure is Overbay does have a cannon for an arm. You've seen it on display a few times there, maybe a little too much though. Nice 1st down completion to Beckham over the middle. Gets a gain of 1, but keeps this drive going.
Over in Indy, it's 17-0. They returned a fumble for a touchdown, and now they just got the ball back again. So it looks like Indianapolis is going to be sitting at 8-8 with the opportunity to possibly clinch with a loss from either the Jags or the Texans.
So the Colts would improve to 8-7 with 1 game remaining on the year.
Oh
Let
yeah,
me see
yeah.
who they play real quick. Nice completion there by Overbay. So the Colts go on next week to play the New Orleans Saints. Hard matchup for them. And I think the Jags have another tough opponent. Well, I'll check it in a second after this 1st down play. Over in Minnesota, Overbay stepping out, goes over to the left and runs into the pressure again. That's Claire on the sack.
Jacksonville is playing the Titans this week with the Texans next week. So they got 2 divisional games to finish it up. If they can win both of those, they'll probably win out and be in a good spot at 9-7.
One of the bigger surprises on this year, though, is this Indianapolis Colts team have struggled a lot the past couple of seasons. Now in a position, even though they're not, have the best record, they're in a position to go over 500, maybe 9-7, and get this division.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, JMO's always been a good user, and I think he's just starting to get back into things, swing at things after being out for a little bit while from the XCFL. So, he can make some noise when he gets his feet underneath him.
And a huge throw there over the middle, trying to hit his tight end, but falls incomplete. There's another 3rd and long for these teams.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of those 3rd and longs. Both teams good pass rush, and both teams just want to huck and shuck. So you're going to see some big plays. You're going to see some 3rd and long situations, and that's where we're sitting right now.
3rd and 17. Trips to the right here. Beckham in the slot. Overpay takes the snap. He's got three-man rush, plenty of time, going deep. Oh, and he finds his man Miller. DB was left like a deer in headlights. Just let that go right over his head.
Yeah, and that should have been maybe picked off, but it got right over the top, and Miller's able to come down with it, falling before he gets hit. And it's interesting. We saw a couple throws there to the tight end. He's the second leading receiver, Steve Parrish. He's a second year guy out of South Carolina. He's already a superstar, and he's leading. He's ahead of Odell Beckham, with right behind Scotty Miller for the leading receiver on the Vikings. You don't see it, not something you'd expect with a team with Zeke, Scotty, and Odell.
Yeah, not at all. They have tons of weapons all over the field. Even Overbay himself is a weapon at times. And after that first time, you know what is surprising about this team is Ezekiel Elliott hasn't really been that effective superstar that we're accustomed to seeing from Ezekiel Elliott. You saw it there in that first down run.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the blocking up front or as much as he's not a vocal point of what they want to do. He is an afterthought in this offense. And even when you play him, when you play the Minnesota Vikings, you line up, you don't think about Zeke much because he just doesn't really get involved.
And you saw him there, another second down run, only gets a gain of about 4 there. So 3rd and 7. Overbay's going to drop back, throws it over the middle. He's got his man Parrish wide open there for a nice first down.
Yeah, good decision by Overbay there, just taking the easy first. Parrish sat in between the zones there, and they're able to keep this drive moving. And if they're going to want to win this game, they're going to have to score around 28 points because the Packers will get they'll get their few good drives together. So it's imperative that they get touchdowns on the board when they got the opportunity.
Ooh, a nice out route completion by Beckham to Overbay, and they're using a lot of different concepts here to get the defense kind of spread out a little bit. That time they go under center with I formation. They hit that out route, which is wide open, and then a curl route for the first down. They're using a lot of different options right now. It's nice to see.
Yeah, the ball's going all over the place, and that's something that they do a really good job of. You're not going to get the same thing.
Ooh, just as we say that, Ezekiel Elliott on a stretch play just talked about him not being effective. That time he is effective, but so was the blocking as he walks in for a touchdown.
Yeah, Zeke with a little show off there, hurdle as he goes in, and if they can get him going just a little bit, that makes this offense pretty scary to face off against.
Pretty scary. Like we said, they just have so many superstars all over the field. Beckham, Parrish, Elliott, of course, Overbay's arm capabilities, Miller, who just is between him and Beckham, they're just pick your poison. They're both extremely speedy guys who can really open up a defense.
Yep, and then you have basically one of the best passing offenses in the XCFL, and then you got one of the worst passing defenses in the XCFL. They've really struggled their secondary so far, and it's kind of good that they play the Packers right now for their chance to get to the playoffs because this is a team that doesn't really want to throw the ball; they want to run it, but they've been shredded. They're the 24th ranked defense against the pass this year.
Ooh, and a first down run to Vernon gets stopped. Nice run defense there.
Yeah, good run defense. They're actually ninth against the run. They've done a really good job against the run. They just really struggled against the pass, and it's a very aging secondary. They're going to have to reload here pretty soon in Minnesota in the back four.
So last time these two teams met, it was in Green Bay, and Green Bay ended up winning by 1 point. The final score was 18-17. Not the offensive explosion you're used to seeing from the Vikings or really from the Packers. It's a nice completion to Guerrero over the middle. But just going back to that game really quick, did you get a chance to see that game?
I remember putting that game on towards the end, and it was kind of controlled for the most part by the Packers, and then the Vikings had a shot really really late, and I believe they either went for two or something happened late where they weren't able to convert, but they basically had that game in their hands if they were able to get a few more yards, and they weren't able to do that. So that's happened to them a few times in the last couple seasons. They've not been able to convert on huge second 2-point conversions to win games.
2nd and 7, hand off to Vernon there. But one thing that kind of sticks out to me about this game, here's his Billy Overbay stat line. 16 for 25, 273, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Now on the other side, Sanchez with 15 for 25, 310, 2 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. So a lot of turnovers by both teams in that game because these two know each other. So far, we haven't seen that in this game. Do you think you expect something like that?
I maybe that was up in the elements playing in Green Bay. I think that was an uncharacteristic game from Sanchez. They usually take care of the football really well, and Overbay, you're probably going to see the interceptions, but I probably see more of Green Bay running the football and kind of taking care of it here and committing less turnovers. Unless they get down a lot here earlier, then they might have to start taking their shots. You might see that.
Well, already down 14-3. Take a huge shot there to Guerrero and just kind of has to play defense there as it was a little bit overthrown. But brings up a 3rd and 7 here. They're going to go single back set, 3 wide receivers out on the field here. Knox is split inside. He's going to take the snap and drop back, going over the middle. He's got Tomlinson. Nice juke move, just enough to get the first down. Huge juke move by Tomlinson.
Yeah, really good throw by Sanchez there, taking the check down. He had nothing else open for an immediate first down, and just by taking that 5-yard pass, Tomlinson's able to make a great juke and get them the first. But great read by Sanchez.
Huge read, just down 14-3. You need to get points here on this drive, make this a 1-possession game again.
Yeah, and Tomlinson, big receiver, got pretty good speed though too. He's a guy they want to get more involved here.
Ooh, and Vernon with another nice juke move gets into the end zone. There's that running game we've been waiting to see from him. Touchdown Green Bay. They're answering right back.
Yeah, that's a great job by Vernon, and it's a good play call. You're kind of, I'm sitting there. I'm probably expecting stretch there. I think NWS was thinking a little bit of the same. They go with the halfback dive and it opens up for a wide open touchdown. That's a really good play call and part of that chess match that these guys have going back and forth.
It's really nice to see this chess match from these two teams. It's always a fun game to watch with them between these two guys because they know exactly. They played each other so much this cycle. They know exactly what the other team is really going to do most of the time. It's about what other team can mix it up enough to kind of keep them at bay.
Yeah, for sure. It's getting those change ups, showing formations that you do certain things out of, and then showing them something different than what they're going to expect. And the guy that's able to do that the best is probably going to have the most success here going forward.
1st and 10. Let's see if Minnesota has an answer. I formation, 2 wide receivers split out wide to the left. Overbay draft back to pass. He's going over the middle. He's got Miller wide open with tons of room to run and gets to the 39-yard line. That Miller-Overbay connection this game has been on fire.
Yeah, little 2-man route there. They went with the dagger concept, and they're able to hit Miller over the middle there for a huge first down. And you're going to see that he's going to keep a lot of guys in, and he's going to just try to get the ball to his dudes there.
Same formation. They're going to hand it to Elliott this time. Elliott gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. But even though he's 6 for 53 and a touchdown, he really hasn't been, a huge focal point like we've mentioned.
No, he had the one big run to open the game on the first play, but other than that, he really hasn't had much. And I think that's one of the reasons they don't run the ball as much as they do is because, if they don't hit the big play, you're not seeing them get 4 or 5. You're seeing a lot of 1, 2, and 3-yard gains.
2nd and 8. Another handoff to Elliott. He got a lot of room here on the stretch play. A lot of room. He can keep on trucking for a nice 17-yard gain there.
Yeah, and they went, that was the 3rd play in a row. They went with the I formation twins, and they finally got the look they wanted there for the stretch, it seemed like, and they're able to hit it for a nice gain. And that's, hey, your ability to make those type of plays and make those reads is what's going to get you first downs against a good user like this.
Twin tight end again here. 2 wide receivers to the right. Miller is in the slot. They're going to hand off again to Elliott. Elliott tries to break it out to the outside, but just good defense all the way around. All those holes were plugged as he's dropped for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, that's absolutely blown up there. There was really nowhere for him to go there. That was the defensive lineman. I believe it might have been Tariq Black on the play. They have a very good front seven. No all-stars, but just guys that play really solid.
Yeah, they just have a lot of good run stuffers, and they have enough of a pass rush and enough of a secondary still to make it hard for you to pass if you don't make the right reads. And I think that's what happens sometimes when they play each other. Overbay kind of force things, and that's when you see the turnovers. All right, 2nd down. Elliott to the outside. Nice juke move. Gets a gain of about 6 there, and I'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and you're seeing this whole drive. Everything's been twins under center. I formation, strong eye. They haven't got out of that yet. And now, now you're in 3rd down. You might be forced to. You're seeing a different set of guys coming in here. So you might see them try to air it out on 3rd down. But they really tried to commit to running the football on that drive. And other than the big one, they really didn't have much success.
All right, 3rd and 6, spread formation. Press coverage all the way around. Let's see what happens here. Overbay back to throw. Pressure backs off. He's got time. Over the middle, finds his man Dupree. That is probably his 5th read there, but he finds him over the middle for a first down.
Yeah, good job going through his reads and just finding the last guy. Like you said, he definitely wanted to keep that thing to the front side, and with the little stick combination, but the backside slants, there was nothing front, so he read that. user took away the inside slant with Scotty Miller, so he was able to hit his fifth receiver there and get a first down. Nice job by Overbay.
So still, they're using a lot of this clock here. Let's see what they keep doing. They're going to run with Elliott. Good run here, and gets just before the first down mark, and that clock's going to keep on ticking. If you're Green Bay, when are you going to start using these timeouts?
Yeah, I think you have to use them if they get another first down here. You might. I would have been already using them. That might not have been a good thing to not, but you really got to give yourself at least another shot here. And the clock's kind of ticking. Even if you do get the ball back now, you're not going to be getting it much with time left. So this might be the final drive of the half.
2nd and 1, 40 seconds remaining. Trips to the left. Elliott staying in the shotgun here with Overbay. Nobody covering the slot receiver right now. Let's see if he goes to him. 30 seconds. They're going to let this wind down. Smart by Overbay. Now takes the snap. He's looking to the end zone, and it's batted around and incomplete. That's going to stop the clock. 3 timeouts remaining and a huge 3rd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, dangerous throw there. You have a bunch of timeouts. He missed his tight end, which is one, like we said earlier, a second leading receiver, and he didn't, he wasn't looking. He wanted the whole thing there. But if he hit the tight end, he had about a solid 10 to 15 yard gain. He could have burned a timeout and had a couple more shots at this thing. But he wanted to play to one of his big dogs. He had both of them standing there. They just weren't able to come down with it.
3rd and 1, huge play already early in this game. 24 seconds left in this second quarter. He's going to take the snap. He's looking to the corner. He's got his man Parrish this time. First down at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, and there's that tight end Parrish able to hold on to it despite getting absolutely rocked. And that's a nice read there, just completing that behind the zone in front of the safeties. And now you're looking at, you get 2 shots at least on the ground if you want them, but you can throw the ball here too. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
They're going to go with the shotgun. Elliott is in the backfield. He's got all his weapons. Dupree in motion. He's going to take the snap now. He's going to throw it. Shifting out. He's going to run. Tries to throw it and gets sacked. Good coverage all the way around. Tried to throw it across his body there, but he gets sacked for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There really wasn't much open. It looked like he might have had his running back on the flare route right out of the get-go there because they were really dropping 8. There wasn't much available. Overbay has decent speed when he can get himself going, but you kind of see that Madden. He doesn't have the escape artist, so he's not able to really start running until he's 5 or 10 yards down the field, and he just wasn't able to make a play there.
2nd and goal. 11 seconds left. Have a few shots here for Minnesota. Have to at least get a field goal. Let's see what they do. He's going to take the snap and throw again. He's looking to the end zone. Ooh, lucky it's not intercepted. He was trying to hit Miller in the back of the end zone. A little bit late there. He's lucky he didn't come away with a turnover.
Yeah, really lucky he didn't turn that thing over. But again, a little late read by Overbay there. Miller absolutely shook the corner at the line of scrimmage there, and he was wide open for a touchdown, but he went to him late and was able to get swatted by, I believe that might have been the cornerback position, Josh Jackson.
I think it might have Josh Jackson. 7 seconds left. Shotgun formation again. Kind of have to throw it here no matter what. Let's see what they do, though. 7 seconds. He's going to take the snap. He's going to throw to the out route. Batted around and almost intercepted. 3 back-to-back throws there. We just mentioned how, NDWA has had a chance to really just run the ball at least once or probably twice if he uses timeouts there, but just try to take the shots the whole time, and the Packers are ready for it.
Yeah, I think they knew they were getting there. He was going to throw the football, but you had the 2 timeouts. You were sitting at 1st and goal from the 5. You really got to give Zeke a chance there. But, we saw the Rams game the other night that, batted up touchdown and lucky to not get that one intercepted by the Packers there.
Yeah, lucky it wasn't intercepted. That would have been a huge change of momentum there for the Packers. But 17-10, Packers get the ball now, a chance to tie this game. A few guys in the chat now, he's got links there, I think that's Wings, saying he's got NWS in this one, and Higgins on the other side saying he's got the Packers. So split here, I think it's more of a coin flip as well. It depends on who just makes a better play as he doesn't turn the ball over. And right now, both teams are doing a good job of that. So let's see what the Packers do on this drive. I-form set. 2 wide receivers split out wide. It's Guerrero and Thompson. Handoff to Vernon. Vernon with a huge hole and gets about 7 there, but he had a lot of space to potentially get more.
Yeah, that thing looked like it could have been a little bigger, but he kind of bounced off the lineman there. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Packers come away with this thing. This is the type of game where they thrive. And, I've played them a bunch of times and been winning at halftime and always find yourself in a really tight one. So, it'll be a really good second half. And I would put my money on the Packers if anybody in this situation.
2nd and 3. I-form pro here. Let's see what they do. Taking their time here. surveying the field a little bit. Now he takes the snap. He's going to drop back to throw, looking for the angle route, gets it, and that Stamer on that nice little angle route gets a gain of 10.
Yeah, hitting Stamer out of the backfield there from the fullback position, and Stamer, a guy I'm surprised to see get involved. He's going to be after, if they're able to get into the playoffs, he's going to be missing a few games and might be even sitting in the next year. But they know they got to make the playoffs, and when that happens, you try to get your players the ball.
1st and 10. Just make the playoffs here. That's what they're trying to do, but get stopped in the back. But that's Carter with the huge tackle behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 4.
Yeah, and just not able to get anything going there. They tried stretch play, and they had the linebacker was able to shoot through the gap and get him for a stop. And this isn't where the Packers thrive at all. They're not big second and longs. They always want to be ahead of the chains, like any team. But really, for them, they need to be ahead of the chains to be successful. So interesting to see what they do throwing the ball here.
They're going to drop back to throw, trying to hit that. And there's Bosa. Gets it his face, but gets it away. And Guerrero hauls it in. Nice little sidestep maneuver by Sanchez to avoid a diving Bosa and able to get that first down.
Yeah, really good job of avoiding sack there, hitting his main man Guerrero on the corner route there for a really big first down. And that, like you said, very impressed by the way he was able to sidestep Joey Bosa on that one.
1st and 10. They're going to spread everything out there. Still loading the box over there in Minnesota. Tomlinson in motion, split it inside now. They're going to take the snap, 9 seconds remaining on the play clock, going to throw it to his drag route. Got Tomlinson, tries to juke outside, but it gets nowhere. It gets a gain of 4.
Yeah, and this is kind of their passing game. They're going to throw the ball to the sideline on those corners. They're going to throw the ball underneath. They're not a big play team down the field necessarily, and that's why you see a guy like Stamer have so many catches. Because they're not going to be trying to take their shots, and they're going to want to just run the football and get manageable first downs. And they seem to be doing a good job of that this drive.
This drive so far. Let's see what they do, though. This drive is definitely not over. This is where a lot of their drives have stalled out for this game so far. 2nd and 6. Sanchez back to throw. Gets the comeback route easily. That's McLaurin, but I think he falls forward enough where he's going to be stopped behind the line of the game. That he is. That's a 3rd and inches coming up.
Yeah, McLaurin goes with the little possession catch there, and he ends up rolling behind the line of scrimmage, putting him in a really tough 3rd and 1. And that's just not a heads-up play by the veteran guy out of Ohio State.
Yeah, you like to see McLaurin maybe take that, cut up field enough, at least just get the first down. But huge 3rd and inches here. Packers have got to get this first down. I formation set. Sanchez changed some things to the line of scrimmage. 8 seconds remain. They're going to take the snap now. Blitz is coming. Gets it to his out route. Wide open is Tomlinson. Tomlinson to the 10-5 touchdown Green Bay, and this game is going to be tied.
Yeah, interesting there. Tomlinson was, he originally supposed to be running down that deep, and he kind of he broke it off when he saw there was nobody around him for an easy 5-yard completion that he ended up taking to the house. A little bit of had to be miscommunication on the Vikes defense there.
Yeah, they sent the house there. I guess they were expecting a run there, and that's what we kind of talked about these two guys mixing it up, going outside of their comfort zone a little bit. Maybe, I've seen Pride play a few times. He likes to run the ball in those short yard to gain kind of scenarios there. That time, he benefited much more by just taking what was there. He knew the blitz was coming. He kind of saw it, and a good audible there gets that play open.
Yeah, able to get NWS low in the box and get the touchdown off of a 3rd and 1, and those are big plays that are going to win you these type of ball games. And now it's interesting how do the Vikings respond here? They have had very little success rushing the football. Quick scores give the Packers chances to stay in this football game.
Play action. They're going to go for a quick score here. Going deep to the outside. Miller with the huge catch and on the run gets brought down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, really good throw by Overbay there. That thing was a little dangerous, but he put it in the only spot that Miller could get it, and Miller only, and he's able to come down with that thing for a huge gain. And this you're going to see just two very different teams. The Vikings are going to be scoring fast and taking the shots, and the Packers are trying to go slow and burn a lot of clock. So it'll be a very interesting quarter and a half here of two different styles.
1st and 10, trips to the left here. Packers loading the box now. Nobody covering the receivers. They're going to hand this ball off to Elliott. He's going to get some space here. Tries to ground to the outside, but still gets a gain of 7.
Yeah, that's a tough read by Overbay there. I think if he hit his little bubble screen, he might have had a touchdown on that one because they only had one defensive back out there on all three of those receivers. So a little bit of a miss, but he's still able to get 7, which is good.
2nd and 3. Same with the trips to the left here. Back to throw now is Overbay. Overbay with tons of time. Gets it to his screen, but Elliott's going to get stopped immediately. Overbay, though, is 11 for 15, 200 yards and a touchdown. those seem like good numbers, but honestly, we've seen Overbay have a lot more already in games like this.
Yeah, over this is a pedestrian game for Overbay, honestly, and he's already over 200 yards. But kind of waiting for him to make that big mistake. I've seen that so much from him, and they're going to want to throw the football here, in this tight, close game. So when you throw it as many times as they do, that tends to happen, and it's kind of that waiting game here of when is Billy Overbay going to throw his interception. But if they can keep running the ball like they did early with Zeke, they might have a shot here or earlier in
In this
this
game,
drive.
yeah, or this drive. But one thing I had noticed about Overbay in this game already, he likes to take his shots. He trusts his arm a lot. We saw it on that throw to Miller. He's just able to trust his arm, and that time worked out for him. When he turns the ball over is when he kind of trusts his arm a little bit too much. So I think we're kind of waiting for that. It's a huge third down here, and there he is. There's the Overbay arm, just a little bit too much there. It looked like he had his tight end there, Parrish, but just a misfire.
Yeah, overthrow on that one from Overbay, and now they got to settle for the field goal. And again, you had 2nd and 3, and you don't give the ball to Zeke on either of those two plays, and that just putting a lot of pressure on Overbay to make to win this football game.
Well, 2nd and 3, they did try and hit Elliott on that screen play, but it was good coverage all the way around. But still, you'd like to see Elliott get the ball in his hands immediately, and instead of like a screen play like that. Just let the blocking be in front of him. He's just a powerful back. He's able to fall forward, get at least 1 or 2 yards, even if he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. But they don't do that. They have to kick a field goal. So just like that, the Packers start this second half with the ball. They go down the field. They use a lot of the clock and score a touchdown to tie this game. And Minnesota comes back, and with one huge chunk play, they get a 3-and-out basically right after that and have to kick a field goal and give the Packers plenty of time to come away and take this lead.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to run the football here. Obviously, they're going to try to get their ground game pounding, and they can take some time off the clock when they really start going, get the ground game going. So it's going to make this game a lot shorter if they put one of those drives together, and even if they only get 3, it's going to put a lot of stress on the Vikings to have to score.
Exactly. So 2nd and 7 here. Vernon with a first down run gets a gain of 3. Good tackle there by Bosa, but 2nd and 7, they're going to drop back to pass. Sanchez with tons of time. Go to the dagger route. He's got his man again. That is Tomlinson making that catch in a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that was a dangerous throw there from Sanchez. It looked like it probably should have been picked off, but it's able to find its way through Tomlinson. Comes down with a great grab in traffic.
Well, Madden giveth and Madden taketh away. And we saw that Madden kind of give NWS something earlier with a play similar to that, almost on an exact kind of dagger route. And I guess they kind of gave it back to him there. But a huge run by Vernon to start that other first down drive.
Yeah, another halfback dive out of that same formation there with the that gives that stretch look, and he's just going to hand it off downhill for another first down. And they're starting to kind of do what they do in these type of games. They're driving, they get a stop, and they make it very difficult on the opposing team to get any momentum going when they're doing it like this.
1st and 10. Minnesota's loading the box here. Let's see if the Packers trying to take a shot. Play action. They're going to try and take a shot here. Let's see what they do. Go into the corner route. They got their man Tomlinson again. He's been all over the field with another huge reception there.
Yeah, big throw to Tomlinson again, and he's had a bunch of catches, and they're just doing what they do. Short outside passes and handing the ball off for good gains. And right now you can see the Vikings getting a little frustrated. They're trying to get pressure on Sanchez, trying to get a stop here, and this is when you might see a big play happen.
Loading the box here. They're sending everybody right now. They do, but a huge run to the outside. Vernon blocking is picked up nicely as they get a nice 8 yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, good run there, and then great job of just kind of flipping that run play to where there was less guys and giving them an easy 8-yard gain. And now it's it's going to be more Vernon, and then a couple short passes from Sanchez here. And this thing, this could be looking like Minnesota's backs against the walls here pretty soon, because when they get driving like this, it's just very tough to stop.
2nd and 2. 2 running backs in the back here. That's Bogan and Vernon. Guerrero in the slot. Vernon in motion to the outside. They're going to fake it to Bogan. Over the middle, he's got his man Guerrero for a nice completion for another first down for Green Bay.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job of holding on to these balls in traffic. They haven't dropped any any of these really where they've gotten hit when they've gotten the ball. So they've really good job by these Packers receivers of just making the plays in tight windows.
1st and 10 here. Shotgun set. Bogan in the backfield. Let's see what they do here. They're gonna change something up. Formation maybe a little bit. Knox splits in a little bit tighter now. 7 seconds on the play clock. They're gonna hand it to Bogan. Bogan up the middle, gets stopped immediately. Vikings saw that one all the way.
Yeah, Vikings kind of probably expected it once they saw Sanchez kind of checking at the line there. They probably thought they were getting that run play and they were able to get a good stop. And now, this is the first, second, and not, short or medium that we've seen here for the Vikings on this drive. And the Packers haven't faced one of these, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. They can still run the ball in this situation very easily.
2nd and 9. Spread out again. Similar formation. Guerrero in motion. He's going to get this touch pass. Touch pass to the outside. Guerrero with space. Guerrero to the 4-3. Jukes, and he's into the end zone. Guerrero with a nice touchdown there. He's going to increase this lead to about 4.
Yeah, really huge play there, and a good call against that defense. And Guerrero makes a guy miss to score, and that's just one of those drives. Really, they take the heart out of you when you give up I think that ended up being like a 4 or 5 minute drive where they just go down, get first downs on third down a bunch of times and score. So how do the Vikings respond when you give up a drive like that? It's going to be very interesting.
So what a drive does for your team like that when you're on the other side. The Vikings, when they last had the ball, they had a decent drive. They had a nice shot play to Miller. Then after that, they kind of stalled out. But that drive took maybe a little over a minute, and that was their only possession in this second half that really just didn't have a chance to have the ball. As that last drive there for the Packers was 4 minutes. The one before that was something similar like that, if not a little bit more. And here they are now. They have more yards, and they have been successful on offense, but now they're kind of in a position where they have a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, really good point. They're just two completely different teams there. Driving completely differently.
Ooh, and Leonard gets him into backfield. That's a 10-yard loss on the sack. Trying to take a shot. We go back to that pressure. Maybe on first down, they would like to run it next, for the first time. But now down 4 points. They're feeling the pressure a little bit, and they're going to start taking some shots, and they do there. But nothing was open. Good user coverage on the tight end there on that post route, and he gets in there for a sack.
Yeah, we're going to see this ball going over, in over base here in our hands for the rest of the game. I think very few aren't going to go through him.
And there you see it there. What a cannon. He gets Miller on that out route. Great timing there as he threw the ball right before Miller break. That's just, that Miller Overbay connection. They trust each other so much.
Yeah, that's probably about a 40-yard throw on a dime. Not 40 yards down the field, but just the amount of length there from catch to throw.
Elliott up the middle, gets a gain of 14, and here it comes the Vikings right back trying to answer.
Yep, chunk play after chunk play. That's what they're going to do, and they finally give the ball to Elliott, and he's able to get us a solid 14 yards off the bat, and a little more of him here just to keep them off their toes might be a good thing for the Vikings.
1st and 10, still staying with that strong formation here. He's got Prayer split inside. 5 minutes left to go in this game. They're going to hand it to Elliott. Elliott hurdles a little bit. Kind of holds him up as he had a lot of space there, but gets only 4.
Yeah, Elliott might have been out the gate. Kind of looked like he, might have stumbled, tried to hurdle something. But if he didn't there, he probably, at least gets a first down, if not scores a touchdown. So got to be a little frustrated if you're the Vikings there to see Elliott, not able to take that thing.
2nd and 6. 2 wide receivers split out wide. They like saying in these strong formations to kind of hint at Elliott. They don't give to him here. Checks it down to Beckham. Beckham with a nice juke move with tons of space. Jukes again. Tries to break free but get down to the 44-yard line. That could have been dangerous there. Beckham had a lot of space.
Yeah, Beckham had a lot of space. If he had made that last guy miss, he might be still running for a touchdown there. And really good juke, good check down there by Overbay there. He's been taking a bunch of shots. Good to see him not throw the ball deep there. Just take what was available and get a first down.
1st and 10. They're going to hand it to Elliott up the middle with some space. Gets about 2 though. And this clock's going to keep on moving. What I like about this drive for the Vikings, though, if they are able to get in this end zone, maybe they use a little bit more clock, get a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more first downs, then you're kind of getting towards that 2-minute warning. And the way this Packers offense moves, you might leave them with not enough time to get down the field.
Yeah, I think you're in 4-down territory here, and it's the more time you take off, the harder it is on the Packers because they're not built for that type of scenario, really. So, it's a really solid job so far, and I think it's 4-down territory. You got to score a touchdown here if you're the Vikings.
Elliott up the middle, gets stopped immediately, had a lot of space, but that's what you risk when you give it to Elliott in this game. He gets a gain of 1, and now a 3rd and 7, a huge 3rd and 7 coming up for the Vikings.
Yeah, and I think maybe they're thinking the same thing. We're going to have at least 2 more shots of it, try to get Elliott going downhill, make it a little more manageable, but he's just not able to. Nothing really going on the ground for them.
3 minutes and counting, 3rd and 7. Elliott staying in the shotgun for him. Overbay taking his time, changing some things up. Fakes the snap, 5 seconds. Now he takes the snap. He's going to look. Going deep to, oh, okay, he's going to Elliott. I thought he was going to that tight end deep down the field, but checks it down. Elliott able to get a first down, though. Huge catch.
Yeah, you and me both. I thought he was trying to hit the tight end. Looked like he might have had him, but it was a really good throw to Elliott on the little wheel route there from the from the running back spot, and he's able to get a first down. And that's a really good, a great throw by Overbay because if you take a shot, you're looking at 4th and 8, but he takes the another great check down for a first down. He's done a good job of that on this drive.
Yeah, this drive is really impressive to see Overbay kind of take these check downs. He's not taking that huge shot. He's using a lot of his clock right now. And that's the biggest part that you're not used to seeing from this Minnesota offense.
No, this is a very uncharacteristic drive, but great time for it to happen because if you scored quickly, then you gave the Packers really the chance to win the football game. But right now, you're taking control of your own destiny by making this thing go for as long as it's went.
And after that run by Elliott, a nice productive run gets him a second inches, and that's a 2-minute warning here. So now you're in a scenario where, okay, they're at the 18-yard line, and if you're the Packers, another first down, you might have to start thinking about calling your timeouts now.
Yeah, I think you got to start using them. I mean, if I'm the Vikings score and if I'm the Packers, I'm trying to leave as much time as humanly possible on. They have to score a touchdown, so you don't have to worry about them tying it up with a field goal. Start burning those timeouts as soon as you can to just leave yourself an opportunity.
And they're going to call a timeout here. Didn't like the formation. That is a costly timeout because it's just right after the 2-minute warning. That's really a waste. I guess, you didn't like your formation that much, but that is very risky to call a timeout when just for a formation in that scenario.
Yeah, pretty baffling timeout there because you're coming out of the 2-minute warning. You still got a chance to audible to something you like, but he decides to go with the timeout and he's wasting one. And now if they do end up scoring a touchdown, you're making it even harder on that offense that really hasn't had the success in those type of drives.
Now, I guess it could work out either way. It really just depends on how this game turns out. Because you can look back at that timeout, and if they do score, like you said, that could be very costly for them. But they're kind of banking on their defense making this stop right here as we have a 2nd and inches, strong wing formation. They're going to hand it to Elliott up the middle. Elliott with a first down and then some, gets struggling and down to the 5-yard line. Wow, so another huge first down. But this is where they struggled last time when they were in the red zone, this goal-to-go scenario. Now with a lot of clock and all their timeouts, maybe they'll try and run the ball this time.
Yeah, I think they got to run the ball. You got all day, make him use his timeouts. And, I agree. The Packers, when they used that timeout a second ago, if you're able to get a stop there, it looks like a genius move because, you didn't like the defense you're in. But if you're not, now you just got yourself in trouble. So it was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. But you got 4 shots here to keep him out of the end zone, and then you might be able to get the ball back with some time.
1 second on the play clock. They're going to wind all the way down. Elliott up the middle. Gets a huge tackle in the backfield. Stop for a loss of 2. That's going to get him out of his X factor. And now behind the ball of 2 yards. Huge tackle there by Barnes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see the Vikings go to the air on this next play. And I think the Packers might know that. But you might see them drop 8 or, keep more guys back in coverage, not really bring as much up against the run because I think the Vikings, that's where they feel comfortable. That's where they know they can score. So, interesting play call situation here.
Single back ace, still a threat of Elliott in the backfield. 40 seconds to go in this game. Let's see what they do. Play clock still winding down. No timeouts from Green Bay. They're going to let this play go as is. 2 seconds, 1 second. Man in motion and a delay a game. No. Overbay cannot let that happen in that situation.
Yeah, huge mistake. And it looks like they were going to end up throwing the football there. Sent that guy in motion and tried to get him on a drag route. Now you're looking at 2nd and goal from the 12 instead of the 7, and those drags are really kind of more out of the question. You got to get the ball down to the feet, down onto the 2 or the 3 now when you do go to throw the football. So really, really tough job by Overbay.
Costly mental mistake. Let's see if they can still come back for it. 32 seconds left. 2nd and goal at the 12-yard line, all the way back here at the 12. Same formation. Let's see what they do. Now sending a man in motion again. That's Beckham. Going to drop back the throw. Going to the end zone. It's batted away from Miller. Now he's out of X Factor. 3rd and goal at the 12. This is kind of looking bad now if you're the Vikings.
Yeah, and they had the check down there. If he had hit, it looked like the Packers kind of took their right side and kept them all deep in it. If he had, hit his check down on the drag route there, he might have had a big play, able to score, at least get a lot closer, but he decided not to do it.
into the end zone. Parrish hangs on for a touchdown, and they are in the end zone. 20 seconds remaining. 2 timeouts for Green Bay. Hold on now. The Vikings are definitely not done, and Overbay is showing why.
Yeah, that was an absolute cannon throw there. He was able to fit it behind in between the two defenders right over their head and hit the big star tight end Parrish for a touchdown. And what a play there. He was a little quiet in that second half. It had been more over, Scotty Miller, but the tight end comes down with the possible game winning catch. Really hell of a throw by Overbay, hell of a job by the tight end.
And some mental errors for both sides on that drive, but the one that could have been more costly was that delay of game in second and goal at the 7-yard line. They're able to come back forward, score a touchdown on third and goal at the 12 to Parrish, who comes up clutch. But that drive, going back to the way the Vikings have played offense in recent games, that drive is very uncharacteristic. That drive, 12 plays, actually I think it was 15 plays, 88 yards, and I think it took over 6 minutes off the clock. And here's the Packers in a situation where they had to drive the field in 20 seconds with 2 timeouts to try and tie this game.
Yeah, and that was just two guys flipping roles there.
Oh, but a huge throw to Guerrero and plenty of time now for the Packers as they hit Guerrero on that seam route wide open down the field to the 46-yard line. They're going to call their second timeout. Slinging a little bit now at Sanchez.
Yeah, he was able to hit him there, and Sanchez does have a good arm. It's just not what they do really, but he makes a play like that. That's absolutely enormous for them, and see if they get a field goal range.
Sanchez back to throw. Bosa in his face. Huge completion to Tomlinson. Green Bay is not done yet. 10 seconds to go in this game, but they still have 3 timeouts for the Vikings. Let's see if they're going to use it here to try and ice this kicker.
Yeah, you definitely got to go with the ice, and the Vikings tried to man up there, and Tomlinson just absolutely toasted the guy on him over the middle, and they kept everybody over the top, and they kind of in that prevent type defense when they're playing man there, and not really thinking that they were going to take those intermediate shots. 2 intermediate shots gets them into field goal range. So really good job by the Packers there.
Yeah, using that middle of the field. Knew they had those 2 timeouts. Weren't afraid to use the middle. But here's the game here. 43-yard field goal. Iced formation here. And the kick is up. And it's right down the middle. We're going to head into overtime here as the time expires in this one.
Wow, what a drive by the Packers there. The Vikings with the Packers-esque drive, and then the Packers with the Vikings-esque. Yeah. They swapped roles completely there, and that's really exciting stuff. Both guys playoffs on the line, and they're doing whatever they got to do to be able to win this football game.
The Vikings will get the ball to receive here. You'd like to see them kind of take a shot here, end this game early at home to try and get into these playoffs. But, the way they played that last drive, they kind of had to take what was there because the Packers were prepared for a shot all drive, it seemed.
Yeah, the Packers were keeping everything in front of them on that one. You saw when they did go man, they were keeping 2 and 3 guys back over the top of it. And, a lot of zone keeping everything in front of them. And that's, hey, you got to kind of do that against a team like this. And can the Vikings put together another drive like they just did?
Huge run by Elliott. Oh, he gets hung up on the line and had a lot of space, but still gets a nice gain there. Elliott has had a very nice day. We kind of bashed him a little bit earlier in this one, but now he's 19 for 140 and a touchdown.
Yeah, slowly, really, really improving. And you hate to kind of say this, but it almost looks like he's left a couple with his little extra moves there. But if he can keep running for 5 or 6, makes his defense very dangerous.
Ooh, he had Miller on that fly route there. Oh, miss! That's an overthrow right there. Just a wobbly, nasty throw. Just way too much arm strength. He had Miller open for a huge play.
Yeah, the Billy Overthrow nickname, came into play a couple times so far this game, and that would have been possibly it. I think Scotty Miller beats the safety for a touchdown on that one. So now you're looking at 3rd and 4, and you have to get a first down here. That's a really, really tough miss from Overbay.
3rd and 4 spread formation. Everybody spread out wide. Let's see what they do here. Overbay back to throw. He is looking over that could have been intercepted. Trying to hit Dupree on that slant route. Everything was covered. 4th and 4. They're going to have to punt this away.
Yeah, you know what? I really kind of shocked there. A little bit of the game between these two users. Pride manned up as a user, the tight end there, and I think he was expecting a slant or a post route, and the tight end ran a corner, and he had him wide open. It could have been a really, really big play, but I think NWS wasn't looking there. He was looking for a slant route, but little user game there, and Pride got the best of him on it.
1st and 10 now for the Packers. This is prime position for them to try and win this game. Only need a field goal. They are accustomed to getting into field goal range with the way they drive the ball as well. Vikings looking to kind of come up with a big stop. Haven't really stopped them at all in this one. Let's see what they do. Strong close set. Hand off to Vernon. Vernon gets stopped in the backfield, and I think he's going to lose about one. Okay, he does get to the line of scrimmage, but a nice defensive stop there.
Yeah, a bunch of guys in the backfield. Bosa absolutely destroyed his guy. It was like DeMarcus Lawrence, who we really haven't talked much about. He's had a bit of a down year. He was also there to get the stop, and now you're kind of putting this game on Sanchez again. They've done a good job of stopping the run, so they're going to have to rely on the young quarterback in this passing game to get him back in it.
Guerrero split out wide. His X factor is illuminated. Let's see if they go to him here. Drops back to throw. Sanchez looking outside. That's Tomlinson, who's had another huge catch there in this game for a first down. Packers, they're kind of threatening right now to run away with this game, steal this game from Minnesota, who's played very well for most of this game.
Yeah, Minnesota, you get the game, what you think is the game-winning score with 24 seconds left, and now you're looking at possibly losing this thing. And that Packers seem to really like. They put Stamer at the fullback position. They run that fullback angle again. That time it doesn't go to Stamer, though. It goes to the outside receiver, Tomlinson, who's having a good game.
1st and 10, I-form pro here. Sanchez under center. Hand off to Vernon. Vernon up and a huge tackle. That's Lawrence again getting in the backfield.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence, making that trade worth it right now. If they're able to win this football game by getting a stop here, it's basically all on DeMarcus making 2 big stops on first down.
Right now, both teams are playing so tough. These Vikings, they're not trying to give up right now. They know they're in a position to try and make a stop here. They haven't done it all game, but here's where they need to do it. 2nd and 10, single back set. 3 wide receivers in the game though. Vikings shifting everybody to the left. Sanchez shifting something as well. He's going to take the snap and look to throw. He is looking. Nobody open. Goes deep. Oh, Tomlinson hauls it in somehow as the cornerback was confused there. Wow, what a play there by Tomlinson.
Yeah, really great play by Tomlinson. That it almost looked like he threw up a prayer there, and lucky to not get that thing batted away or intercepted. But Tomlinson's able to turn his head around and that thing off. He looked like he wanted the slant route out of the slot. He hot routed that thing, and NWS all over it with the user, so he was forced to go somewhere else and kind of just throw it up. And his guy, who's had a really big day, makes the play.
Not over yet though. This run defense has been good, and they're going to be running the ball now over in Green Bay. Let's see if they can get a huge stop here. 2:10 left to go at the 34-yard line. Defense has got to come away with a big stop, shifting things all around both sides. Trying to get the right formation here. They're going to go with the stretch play to the left with some space. Vernon gets a good 5 yards, but that's a very key, actually 4 yards, but gets a very key 4 yards as they get him even closer in this field goal range.
Yeah, this thing's over with a field goal here. They have to get some type of either turnover or, maybe get a stop and try to ice him again and force him to miss it. But, right now, if you're the Packers, you're just running the football, trying to hold on to it and kick that game-winning field goal.
2nd and 6. Vernon in the backfield. Can he be the hero? Can the kicker be the hero? We will see. 2nd and 6. They're going to hand it to Vernon. Vernon to the outside. Gets some space, but gets out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. They get the first down. Plenty of, a lot of good distance right now for this kicker. He already made a game-tying 43-yard field goal, but 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. This just might be it for the Vikings.
Yeah, if I'm the Packers here, I'm just going to put the ball where I'm most comfortable, for my kicker, whether right, left, or middle hash, and then I'm going to kick this thing as soon as possible. No reason to try to do anything else here. That kick basically a 30-yarder to win the game.
They're going to drop back to pass. Sanchez trying to go to the outside, gets his drag route. That's Tomlinson to the 5 and dropped at the 5-yard line. Gets the first down. I guess they rolled the dice there, had the drag route open to Tomlinson with another huge catch. He's 9 for 150 in this one.
Yeah, and the Vikings have played a lot of man to their credit, and they just haven't been able to stick with Tomlinson. Really good, good speed, 94 speed, 6 foot wide receiver. He's kind of toasted them a little bit, and that's been this secondary struggle all year.
Guerrero in motion, a little bit hung up the line of scrimmage. He's gonna walk in for the end zone. Touchdown Green Bay. They're to come away with the win and likely the division. Good win there for Green Bay as now they're swept the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, huge win for them, and that that again, that might be the division, that might be it for them, and really great game between the two guys, and heartbreaker if you're Minnesota, and an absolute miracle if you're Green Bay.
Yeah, an absolute miracle if you're Green Bay, but just you got to speak to that heartbreaking fashion of the way they lose. It wasn't their offense, it wasn't their turnovers. They protected the ball in this one. There wasn't any turnovers on either side. You see no takeaways from either side. But the Vikings, they had the right game script to win this game. They had that final drive that was so beautiful, left 24 seconds, but it was just not enough as Sanchez hits Guerrero over the middle a few times, and they get into that field goal range to tie the game, and then their offense stalls out a 3-and-out to start the overtime. It's just a heartbreaking way to lose the game. They had their chances,
Yeah,
but it's heartbreaking.
yeah, it really it's a tough way to go, and we talked about it a little bit earlier on. This secondary has been really bad. Bottom 10 in the end. The XCFL, and they tried to play some man late there. To their credit, they tried to throw different looks at him, and their guys could not stick with Tomlinson or Guerrero, and they're able to the Packers were able to really take advantage of that, and end up coming away with the win. Because of those big plays and that lack of secondary from the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, it was not what you'd expect from Sanchez. It wasn't really at all the running game from Green Bay. That's really won them a lot of games. It was their passing game, and the passing game kind of really won that game for them as you saw a few big completions on that last drive and the drive before that to get them in the field goal range. So that'll do it here. Just to recap, the Colts they had a huge lead, and did end up winning that game. So they're going to move on to 8-7, and all they have left to worry about is the Jags sitting at 7-7. They're going to be playing. They play the Titans this week, so we're waiting on that game to see how the AFC South shakes up. But after that win, the NFC North is pretty much unlocked for the Packers. They have swept the Minnesota Vikings. Nobody else is even near them. The Bears and Lions are not close to them. The Packers are going to go to the playoffs again for I believe it's the third straight year in a row.
Yeah, the Packers have been in, if not the third straight year, maybe almost every season this cycle. But they, basically a perennial playoff team, and they're getting in. They're not doing anything flashy the last couple of years. When they've been doing it earlier in the cycle, they had some 14 win seasons. But just doing what they got to do and winning close games like that to get to the playoffs.
All right, well, that'll do it here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me at this quick, last second broadcast. But it was definitely a fun one. We went to overtime. Tune in next time. We'll probably have a few Week 17 games that we'll do, or at least definitely have some playoff games. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. See you guys later.